All right. Hello, y'all. I am back. So soon, y'all may be asking. Yes, so soon. I decided to take my weekend off, have a little bit of time to myself. But now I'm here to do a little bit of an update video on the last thing I did. So you're welcome, y'all. Plenty of content for you. But yeah, so I'm not here to talk about, anything like the Donald Trump getting the $400 million jumbo jet from the Qataris or, anything else like that. I am simply here to talk about my boy, Newark Major Ross Baraka, who, as I covered previously in my video, was arrested outside of a ICE facility. He was released. I think he was only held for about 5 hours before he was released. And now we have from Forbes breaking news. This was released a couple of days ago, so on Saturday, I guess, yeah. This is Ross talking about his experience with Forbes. So let's just sit and listen to this you know what? I'll turn on some closed captions too. Why not?
Mayor Ross Baraka with us now. Mr. Mayor, your reaction to what you heard?
I am shocked by all of the lies that was just told there. It was incredible. There was no bus of detainees there at all. Nobody stormed the place. The only storming happened is when that we all know when those guys stormed the Capitol and was arrested for what they did and were released. The congresspeople were invited there. They invited me there for a press conference. There was no storming. There was none of the stuff she's talking about has ever happened. Nobody else was arrested but me. I was the only person taken into custody. Nobody else was arrested. There, no protesters, not me, no one. I mean, other than me, that's it. I was the only person arrested. And I was allowed to leave the facility, first invited in, then allowed to leave the facility. Then they came out of the facility and arrested me on the sidewalk or on the driveway, sidewalk part of it. So everything that she said was a complete and total lie. I think these people believe if they lie long enough that people will believe what they're saying. It's impossible to hear what these people are talking about and keep some level of civility, because I mean they just lie on and on and on and over and over and over again. It's impossible.
What is your reaction to what, at least to me, is a new accusation that there were members of Congress who body slammed ICE officers, and that there's video of that coming and potentially charges coming?
That's ridiculous. I'm waiting for them to show a video. I mean, you had two older woman Congresswoman Bonnie Watson Coleman, who probably couldn't lift any of them.
She's 80 years old.
Yes, 80 years old. An 80-year-old woman getting shoved around by ICE agents. This is what we witnessed. An 80-year-old woman congresswoman. To be fair, you can make the argument she's 80 years old. She shouldn't be in Congress. We should have age limits. Let's get that passed. But that's a separate argument than should the ICE agents be beating up on a member of Congress who has showed up to visit a place within their federal jurisdiction. Like, it's a federal building, but these people are members of the federal government. So let's be real now.
Congressman Menendez, none of those people body slammed any officer. If you see somebody falling in a video, it's an ICE officer throwing one of the people who was observing down to the ground. No ICE officers were body slammed at all. And I just want to tell you, the Homeland Security, when I was in custody, treated me well, with respect, with dignity. Those officers, treated me with respect. I mean, it's just shocking and surprising that these people will come out and start saying the things that they're saying is completely untrue. I mean, there's nothing close to the truth of what she said.
And I'm not going to play much more of that. Y'all can go and watch that whole video if you want to. But the point is, we live in two separate realities right now, right? So we have one half of people that is actually in tune, like, with the facts and with the knowledge of what is going on, and then we have another half of the country just gobbling up the most brain mush type of Russian fucking processed propaganda you've ever heard of, and they love it and they feed off of it, and it makes them feel really good. But the problem is, you get a situation like this, and then suddenly the country is going to be very divided on it, right? You're going to have, half the people being like, this dude was, trespassing and breaking the law and, inside, like, let a whole bus full of detainees, sorry, I couldn't say that word, detainees, let a whole bus full of them run over. No, it was a press conference for a visit to an ICE facility by members of Congress. They invited the mayor, who is the mayor of the town in which the ICE facility is located, which arguably isn't even, like, shouldn't be running and shouldn't be, like, legally according to the laws in that town and everything. So the problem is, these are we're dealing with evil people. Once again, these are evil, bad people. Like, don't have sympathy for them. You can try to understand where they're coming from, which I do, and that is the whole point of why I do this, is like I try to break down the both sides. But at the end of the day, like, you can't have two absolute conflicting points of view and they both be true. I mean, in certain circumstances you can, but there really are points where it's like you have to pick a side, right? You do have to pick a side, and you have to decide you're going to be on the right side of history. And this is one of those moments. So, Ross, and, to be fair, you can look into Ross Baraka's past. He's not like the fucking greatest politician. I'm not praising him as like a, absolute fucking saint or a savior. Like, he's done the typical political corruption for sure. Or, even if it was just like sloppy work, either way, like you can go back and, look at his campaign history when he was trying to become mayor in 2014, but you have to also look at the facts of what's going on in the streets at the time, and like this is not normal. This is not something that should have ever in a million years happened. And now we even have, this is from The Hill, we have a GOP representative. Threat to arrest Democratic colleagues, quote, very drastic. Now, this was a very, very weak sauce, statement that this representative made, but it's better than saying nothing at all. Representative Michael McCall, Republican Texas, on Sunday called threats to arrest Democratic colleagues over an incident at a U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement facility, quote, very drastic, end quote, and only appropriate if anyone actually broke the law. Quote, should ICE be arresting or even threatening to arrest members of Congress? Host Ed O'Keefe asked McCall in the interview. And this is McCall's response here. I mean, that's obviously a very drastic move. I would only do that if they were complicit with a crime, McCall responded. I don't know all the facts behind this. So that's his very nice way of saying, hey, y'all, like in, Trump and Kristi Noem and Alina Habba and Pam Bondi and the rest of y'all, like, you gotta, like, be sure you know what you're doing before you just, like, start going after people. McCall noted members of Congress have the right to access federal detention facilities, adding that he did not know if the three members of Congress, New Jersey Democrats Bonnie Watson Coleman, Rob Menendez, and this is not Bob Menendez, this is his son, which is really... Bob Menendez is the Democrat who got, thrown out like a couple years back because like he had the gold bars in his walls. Like that was a whole crazy thing. Bob Menendez with the gold bars. If anybody remembers that, give me credit for being able, because I'll call it on my own side too. Like, yeah, Bob Menendez, but this is Rob Menendez Jr. Technically, this is his son, and LaMonica McIver were otherwise disrupting law enforcement. I mean, that's McCall said he didn't know if they were otherwise disrupting law enforcement. If they were just visiting a detention center, quote, I've done that many times. He's talking about himself as McCall. I've done that many times. If they're disrupting law enforcement, that's another question. So, were they disrupting law? I mean, it sounds like everything I've heard, they got invited into the building. They were there for a tour. And then all of a sudden, when they had already been there waiting for, hours and hours, they fucking sick a bunch of ICE agents on them. Like, this shit is fucked up and gross. Quote, so, we can peacefully protest in this country, can we? Can we? But you cannot be complicit with gang violence against our law enforcement. And that I agree with. Like, fundamentally. Yes, that's not the argument we're having here. This is not about gang violence against our law enforcement. That's not, I mean, you can have discussion, but this is not what this is talking about. And so the fact that he tries to tie that into that, he's still a Republican, so still a piece of shit. But you at least, you can see, like, even on their side, there's people among them who realize, ooh, you know what, like, this could come back to bite us in the ass. Like, this is not the best look. But that's not going to stop them. You know that's never going to stop them. So we have this from Axios. This was yesterday. Trump admin eyes arrests for House Dems over ICE incident. This is talking about the Department of Homeland Security. That's Kristi Noem. Democratic members of Congress who were part of a scuffle with law enforcement officers at an ICE facility in New Jersey may face arrests, the Department of Homeland Security confirmed to Axios Saturday. Now, that's Kristi Noem. And I pulled up Axios first because, this is a very neutral, very, just basic informative headline. But this is who we're talking about, Kristi Noem. The Daily Beast was a lot less gracious with their headline. They said, ICE Barbie's aide threatens to have goons arrest members of Congress. Seize them is the underline there. An aide for ICE Barbie, Kristi Noem, threatened to send Department of Homeland Security goons to arrest 3 Democratic members of Congress who tried to tour an ICE detention facility. And already, this is like, you can make the argument, like, is it really the most neutrally written thing ever? But, like, this is much more real to the truth, honestly, of what happened than any of the bullshit that they've been spewing from the other side. Tricia McLaughlin, a DHS spokesperson, said on CNN podcast, first of all, that there exists, quote, body camera footage of some of these members of Congress assaulting our ICE enforcement officers. She said the representatives, were, quote, body slamming the officials. So, yeah, this is talking about, what the DHS spokesman, of course, they're going to be like, they were, attacking us, blah, blah, blah. Asked by host Victor Blackwell whether the representatives were going to be arrested, McLaughlin said, this is an ongoing investigation, and that is definitely on the table. Which just means, like, it's all bullshit. Like, if there was an actual assault, and you have the evidence, and there were, like, people assaulting, you would have those people locked. You're like, this is not, no. Oh, man, so, but anyway, down here, the important point of this, though, is, like, they're not stopping with the mayors. They're going for the members of Congress next, and then it'll be senators. Congressmen from the House of Representatives, then senators. They already did it with judges back, like I said. I already mentioned Hannah Dugan in the last video. She was like one of the first to go. So yeah, once again, as I like to always say in these, and I didn't say it last time, I forgot to, but we are dealing with the forces of evil. Like, this is a spirit, like, this is where I'll meet the evangelicals, the Proud Boy types on their plane, is like, yes, this is spiritual warfare. We are fighting for the soul of America. And I just think y'all wound up on the wrong side. Unfortunately, it's a bummer. Still trying to evaluate what portion of, my comment sections these days is bots and what's not. It's hard to tell. But, for those of y'all who really hate on me, I respect your right as an American citizen, as a person with free speech, to come hate on me, come tell me how you really feel, tell me why, give me all the reasons why this person is fit and qualified to be our head of department, or head of Homeland Security, who's now trying to arrest Congress people. So yeah, that's my spiel for tonight. I think that was a good one, and I got it done in little under 2 minutes less than what I did the last one. So say that's a job well done. Y'all have a great night. Oh, what's my little line? Oh, stay hydrated. Where's my water bottle? And y'all, stay hydrated. That's good.